Y'all, this question makes people so nervous. So let's just talk about it. Yes, you can book clients before you're certified. Also, there are some really important caveats. So let's slow this down and let's talk about it properly. Okay, so not all doula trainings are the same length. So if you are, for example, taking a weekend training, oh my gosh, please, y'all, you're not going to be prepared, but you do you. Please check out. We have like so many videos about the types of training available. But in that case, obviously by Sunday, you're done. So you could take clients. But some other doula trainings are over weeks or months, in which case you might still be in school, or you might be counting like, can I take them before I'm done my training, or can I take them once I'm certified? So not all doula trainings, as I say, are the same length, and there's no single governing body for doulas, which there's some pros and cons to that, obviously. So certification is not suddenly like this switch that you're like, yay, you can practice. Like it doesn't give you permission to work. I do have something to add, so stick around because I do want to talk about insurance. But like really certification is about your education, that you feel really prepared, that you've been tested and you can show that you have, an aptitude for the work that we're doing and that your clients have had a good response from your care, because you should have practicum as part of your certification process. Again, if your training does not require that, that might be, in the red flag bucket there. But you're following your scope and you have this kind of like accountability to be a really great trauma-informed care provider. So, our training, for example, at Bebo Mia, it's over 4 months long. And so we do have students that take their training, take their training and take clients as they're going through. So many doulas do begin looking for clients, while they're still in school, if they're in a longer program. And I want to just show you this. Let me flip over here to my iPad. Okay. So let's say you're in a longer program or you're counting certification. So, you're in school here. That's my beautiful arrow. Okay. So let's say you are taking a client and because you're doing birth work and they're 12 weeks while you're either in school or you're working towards your certification requirements. I mean, that means you really have like 30 weeks to keep prepping and studying and getting your certification done. Because you're working on your schoolwork and stuff, but they're going through their gestational cycle. So, and then they start overlapping. So you're working on this. This one might be a birth towards your certification. But then you get, like your second client here. Oh, there we go. And they're maybe 20 weeks pregnant. Okay, so now you have another 20 to 22 weeks, depending if they're, first time or second time or whatever. So now you've got, again, these more like another 20 weeks here, assuming that they go to full term, which is 40 weeks. And so you can see like they start overlapping. And again, all of these might be for your certification. So you can be working on this over the year. It takes a while to get all of this stuff, to get your births and to get certified. You do need to make sure, though, you are transparent that you're a doula in training or you're not yet certified. Again, stay within your scope. We actually had a student last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. What is time? It's all blending together. While she was in her training, she got 9 paying clients. That's another big question, which I'm going to answer next around, the charging and like, can you charge for your first clients and those kind of things. But she got 9 clients. I think she made $15,000 while she was still in school, which is really, really cool. And if you are taking these clients while you are either working on your certification or you're still in your doula training, you still have to have a backup. So you have to find somebody that can support you if you can't make it. And again, we're going to do some specific content around this, but you do need to be able to have someone because you might only have one client. So you're like, oh, I'm probably not going to be obviously at another birth because I only have one client, but you could get sick, you could get injured. Somebody you love could get sick or injured and require your care. There's so many things. So please make sure you're always working with a backup. A structured doula training should scaffold you with all of this and teach you how to do this. And, you really want to feel supported. So, yes, you can take clients anytime, but you do need to have the confidence to be like, okay, now I'm ready to fly solo and take care of somebody during their fertility or their pregnancy or their birth or their postpartum period, depending what area of doula work you are doing. Okay. Yeah, so like there's a bit of an ethical piece. Don't rush into it. But I do want to talk about insurance because some places, so you having your liability insurance, some hospitals, some providers, some birth centers, they require you to show your certification and insurance in order to support somebody out of their facility. So if you are in a longer doula training, they usually have a workaround to show like you've completed your training, but not yet your certification because it's a 2-year program or something like that. But you will need to potentially then have that. So it's important to know what is like happening around in your region or your state or your province or the hospitals you plan to be working out of, because in the same city there might be one that requires certification and insurance and another one that might not. So it's important to also check that out to make sure. And if they do require certification, then you shadow and you get your practicum done that way, and then you apply for your certification once you do all of your other cert requirements. So I do want to have that note around the insurance providers. Okay, so this brings us to our next question that everyone always asks about: how do you get that first client? And especially if you want to do it while as a student or while you're in training. So we have some awesome hacks so that you can fill your roster right away. And that part usually feels a little bit mysterious and scary for folks. So jump into the next video and we will show you exactly how to do that.